Warning: the following podcast show that you're about to listen to will include explicit language and content in which you, the members of the audience, may find offensive. Audience discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience.
Yeah, boy.
Where anything and everything is a subject matter on the show, and no subject matter is ever taboo.
Damn, that's what's up with you.
And now, your host with the most, Mr. Kim Hoang. Bro, am I getting paid for this?
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How in the world are you? This is your boy, Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation. I go by many a monikers. I'm the host with the most. I'm the man with the plan. I'm the man that can bring the power less in an hour. And you know what? You know that I'm the voice, and you know I'm the choice. And we're here. Another episode here of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience, coming at you live all the way over in Wheaton, Maryland, in our usual home now, the Prototype Studio. Glad to be here. It's been an amazing moment. I would have started a little bit sooner, but I had a little bit of some technical difficulties, so I'm really apologize, y'all. I'm working on a PC rather than my usual Apple MacBook Pro, so a little con there. But in the business, we say, hey, whatever works is whatever works. You know what I mean? So beggars cannot be choosers is the ultimate lesson here today, children. That's all I have to say. So we're here. We're doing it. I'm feeling good. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say it like this. Y'all kept on telling me through a lot of emails and a lot of private messages, a lot of, tweets on the Twitter, now known as X. You know what I mean? You told me all of that. Even got me on a private message on my Instagram, which I'm like, wow, this is a first. We need to have more guests on your show. Not to disrespect you or anything, because we know that you work hard and you do good. And the solo episodes, not bad, but I need more guests. Well, guys, it doesn't take a genius to figure out when you have so many suggestions piling up, up the flagpole. I kind of get the point. And ladies and gentlemen, that's where this episode comes in today. And I'm very happy and excited about it. My guest for today is an actor, a producer, and a director. Now, according to what I'm seeing right now, because, I have that awesome X-ray vision, or, we try to say that we do when we were in that older age, but don't tell anybody. So let's go ahead and get over to the... Okay, so she's acted in a couple of, projects. Let me just name some to name a few. Heavy Duty Man, Blood and Breakfast, You're Mine Now, The Legend of Crickfoot, 72, but as the number 72, Butterfly of the Black Velvet. This one here was quite interesting because this is a project that I was also on. Night of the Axe. I was actually in that project. And she was also in a movie that I was also in Miscalculated, which, a funny fact, we were in the same location at the same time, maybe different scenes, but we were there at the same time. And a fun fact, it was over at a beauty salon, a beauty parlor over in Old Town Ellicott City, historic side Ellicott City, and it was a good time. Like I said, she in the beginning, director and producer. One project that she is directing and producing in is called Anna Key, which is going to be coming up pretty soon, I do believe, and we'll talk a little bit about it. She's all that in a bag of chips, and she's here in the flesh. Live here on the interwebs is Amanda. Megan is in the hizzy. Amanda, how you doing, sweetheart? It is good to have you here on the podcast show. Welcome in.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Now, guys, if you hear a slight delay, that's technology for you. All I have to say is you're just going to have to, work with us here as we work with you. That's all I have to say. Amanda, like I said, great to see you. How's your day been? How's everything? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's great. It's been a super busy week all since like last week, but it's all good stuff. So good stuff is happening. I work full time as a personal trainer and just moved into my boyfriend's place. And we just finished our casting for Black Sheep, which is a project that I'm working on with my partner DJ Patton for that. But we can talk more about that later. We'll get through all the other stuff first.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So let's just jump right into things because I'm excited, and I know a lot of people out there that are listening on every single type of podcasting platform out there possible. I know y'all are listening and tuning in, so much love and appreciate to all the audience out there and all the people that love and support the show. To all of our people that subscribe to our show and tell your friends. Thank you, thank you. Let's start out in the genesis of things. You are actually right now located in Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I live in Pennsylvania, but I do travel a lot. I've spent a lot of time in like Frederick, Maryland, mostly Frederick, Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So I've got around a little bit.
Are you like over in Gettysburg, or where are you at?
It's close to Gettysburg, more like the York area.
Okay, yeah, cool. Now, are you from Pennsylvania originally, or were you like born and raised somewhere else?
No, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I grew up in a very small town called Frackville. Yes, it's a real place. You can Google it. It's about 20 minutes away from the Yingling Brewery. It's also about a half hour away from Centralia, which many people know Silent Hill from.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know that such a place
Mhm.
existed. When I think of like Pennsylvania, stereotypically, a lot of people think of like the big cities. Obviously, like the capital city, uh, Harrisburg. We think of Philadelphia. We think of Pittsburgh. We even think of um, what is that one place in Pennsylvania? And I'm having a brain fart, so excuse me. It's where all the Amish people are at.
Lancaster.
Yeah, or some people call it Lancaster.
Yeah, it depends on how you pronounce it. It's easy to tell if you're from there or not.
Right. So, growing up, back in the days as a young, girl and young woman in Pennsylvania, what was Amanda like back in the day? Was she like, an athletic kid? Was she an artistic kid? Was she very sociable? Was she shy? What was going on back then?
So I mean, I wasn't an athletic person. I was more of a nerd. I did like theater and band camp. I twirled a flag. I can't play an instrument, but I can twirl a flag.
Okay.
I did theater all 4 years of high school. Um, I was very sociable. I had a lot of friends. I wouldn't have like called myself like popular or anything like that, but I talked to a lot of people. I kind of like did my own thing. I've kind of always been one of those like lone wolf sort of people, but like I got along with everybody, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So you got along with everybody. You were doing your thing growing up. Do you remember the very first moment where you actually saw acting and you're like, wow, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
So whenever I do like an interview with this, I attribute a lot of what I do horror-wise to my Uncle Ray. So when I was growing up, we lived in a big house. We lived with my grandfather, my mom, my dad, my brother, and then my uncle, his wife, and their two children. And so when my parents would have nights out, my Uncle Ray would babysit us. He would watch us. And we would always watch, it was always a Friday night, and we would always watch Indiana Jones. And then I was the
Ooh.
oldest of the four of the kids. So whenever the younger ones would fall asleep, I would beg him to let me watch Crypt Keeper, Tales from the Crypt. And
Yeah.
my mom was always like, don't let her watch that. She's too young, blah, blah, blah. But he always gave in and let me watch it. So
Oh,
I blame it
wow.
all on him. But Nightmare on Elm Street was also one of my like favorites. So
Yep.
that's a big thing for me. I was just talking with Shannon Adkins on the phone, and she's talking about maybe doing like the Fred Heads convention in Ohio next year. So I was like, yeah, I'm all about that. Um, let's see. I also did some modeling when I was younger too. So that's actually a funny story. So I met with I forget the name of the agency, but I met with an agency, and I promise it makes sense it'll make sense when I finish telling the story. I met with this agency. They did some like test shots, and at the time I was like, let's say like 120 pounds. I was 19-ish years old. They told me that I needed to lose 20 pounds and that my smile was too toothy. And I bring this up because now when you go through like my Facebook pages and stuff, you see a lot of the modeling that I do. And I just want to make sure like people follow their dreams and they don't give into the stereotypes. Like your body is perfect the way it is. Take care of it, obviously, but like don't let some random person be like, oh, hey, you need to weigh like 90 pounds for anybody to care about you. Like that's not a thing. And like it's funny because like that was a thing, and now I'm doing so much better with the modeling and with the acting and everything. And if I would have taken that advice seriously, I would not be in a good place right now.
So you mean to tell me that somebody was trying to give you like a mental case of like, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Wait, can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I thought you froze on me, but I hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. Technology, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, again, the word of the day is technology. Let's go ahead and take two. So you mean to tell me,
right?
That somebody was trying to give you like a hard time, and it kind of gave you like a, like a complex of like a body dysmorphia? Is that what happened?
Oh, it could have. It could have. Like I was really sensitive about it. I was very self-conscious about it from there, and I had to like really build myself back up. And a lot of that was the acting community and the people that I surrounded myself with. So I'm very grateful for the network that I've created here. It's like a little family now.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always cool when you surround yourself with that network of people of which that, you're trying to associate yourself with, because that's like your field, and you actually have like really good positive people that have your back and they have your interest, rather than like I've always told people, and I know that you heard me say this phrase before, a lot of snakes in the grass, always trying to do something to make you feel unworthy or try to take you out of the equation, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, I've dealt with a few people like that.
Yeah,
thankfully, it's not the norm.
Yeah, well, we that's what we hope for, that it's not a norm. That we try to change all that for the better, and that we just try to make a negative situation into a more positive situation.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and get into it. You discovered acting through your love of movies because, of the family night movie activity and watching a couple of movies, and maybe some that you were not permitted to watch at the time, but you got in there anyways. At what point, though, after that, did you decide to say to yourself, you know what? I see this and I want to try it out. I want to try out acting, and it looks kind of cool and it looks kind of fun. When did that happen?
So I actually got started with it when a friend of mine reached out to me. His name is Scotty McCoy. We went to high school together. He
Okay.
reached out to me, I want to say 2018-ish, and was like, hey, I have this an idea for a movie. Well, it was actually going to be a web series at first. It's called Samhain, Sam Hain. It is available on YouTube for streaming. We did get the movie made. He had reached out to me and was like, hey, I've got this idea. Do you want to be a part of it? And so we went through all the things. It was going to be a web series originally. We had to scratch that idea. It just wasn't working the way we thought it was going to work. And I just had this gut feeling like no, you know what? We need to do this. We need to make this happen. Let's find a way to make it work. So we found a way. We made it work. We got cast. We did all of the locations. It was very low budget, as close to zero as you can get. But we did such a phenomenal thing. We brought Art back to Schuylkill County, where we both grew up from. And he's going to be at the Carlisle Comic Con in October. So if you guys are interested, make sure you stop by, check him out. So yeah. And then from there, we just kind of networked out and started meeting new people and working with new people. That's how Sean found me for Night of the Axe. And I don't even know how the rest of it has happened. It just kind of happens.
Now let's trail back a little bit. You said that you did some acting in high school, right?
The theater program, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So at what point did you find the theater program and that actually made you decide I'm going to go for it? Like I see it, it looks interesting or it looks cool. Let's give it a go.
So the first time I did theater, I was in ninth grade. I did it in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. I couldn't tell you, like, I know we did Grease one year. We did 42nd Street one year. Annie Get Your Gun, and I don't remember the other performance. 42nd Street was my absolute favorite because it included all the tap dancing and it got a little bit more like technical. And you could get really creative with it. I really enjoyed that one. Honestly, I didn't enjoy Grease as much as I would have liked just because it's like such a popular thing and like every school was doing it. I was mostly just background at the time, but I really enjoyed being a part of like a production of a team and bringing a story to life.
Okay. Oh, so you did musicals.
Yeah, they were all musicals in high school.
Right, right. Okay, that's cool. That makes sense. So let's say after high school, and I know I probably asked this already, but I'm going to ask it again as like, maybe I didn't ask it. So after high school, when you graduated and everything like that, did you decide to go for acting after the fact, or did you take a little bit of a break and say, you know what, I'm just going to explore life and see what life holds for me?
I took a little bit of a break. So I graduated, I went to college, made some great memories there. I didn't graduate college, and that has actually worked out better in my favor. I made a lot of great memories, a lot of great friends, just kind of experienced life, moved around a little bit, was married, got divorced, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And then when Scotty had reached out to me, that's when I kind of like circled back to it.
Gotcha.
It's funny how things come full circle.
I would say so, yeah, because it's like you go from one aspect, from the starting point, and then you go to like what you would think like the best point is, and then at that point it's like, okay, I think I've made like my full revolution. But then you're starting to make that motion over again. It's like, oh well, that must mean that the universe is telling me I need to go back to it because obviously it's probably something that I love to do, and I'm gravitating towards that, and this is where it's at.
Yeah, it's the universe gets what it wants. End of story.
Right on. So let's talk a little bit about your acting and so forth. Tell us about the first production or movie or short that you ever did. What was your experience like?
So the first film that I ever did was called Samhain. That was with Scotty. We filmed most of that in Schuylkill County. It was an interesting experience because I was in front of the camera and behind it. I helped do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Right.
Scotty and I made a really good team to make all of that happen. I feel like it was so long ago, but like it was like just yesterday at the same time,
Right.
I played one of the lead roles for that. The character's name was Sammy Freed. And it's kind of very similar to Halloween, where like there's this mass killer who's killing this one person because there's some sort of connection there, and then she has to find a way to like defeat him and like save her people.
Yeah. Now, from the resume that I'm seeing, it seems like most of the stuff that you've been doing in terms of acting wise have been more towards like the horror and sci-fi genre. Is that correct?
Mostly horror and like thriller so far.
Okay.
Anarchy that I directed, that you had mentioned is actually not a horror film. It's a drama.
Okay. So let me ask you this, knowing that you have just said that most of it was like around the horror genre, what made you decide to go for more of, at least at that time, like more horror movies as opposed to like, like comedy or rom-com or action movies or something like that? Was it something that you felt, well, horror is my favorite genre of film, it's probably more my wheelhouse, I feel a little bit more comfortable with it? So was that where you were going with your acting, or that was just kind of convenience that you found every project that you act in, it was all horror all the time?
So that's part of it. I do feel like it's more so my wheelhouse. It's kind of what I'm used to. It's what I grew up with. It's my thing. Um, but at the same time, part of it is also that it was just there's so many. Most people are making horror movies. Most people are doing horror movies. But I don't want to be like typecast to only horror movies. Like I would love to do a comedy or a rom-com. Um, I'm not going to never do another horror movie. I'm not going to say that, but I would like to branch out and do other genres as well and, really test my skills.
Nice, nice. If there was if there was one genre of film that you never really touched that you would like to, take your aim at and say, you know what, let me try this genre and try to be an actor in this film because, it's speaking to me and it's a little bit interesting.
I would love to try a comedy film because I don't think I'm funny. So I feel like it's definitely going to be a challenge for me.
Oh, wow. Do you normally love comedy? I mean, is comedy like one of your favorite genres of film?
I do enjoy it, yes.
Nice. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. So I'm going to talk about two things here that we have in common because, one of it I kind of knew from an offshoot because one of our, common friends and Mr. Brian Pacheco was telling me about this. And the other one, I just, figured it out tonight when I was looking a little bit about some information on you. Let's talk a little bit about Night of the Axe. I know that we had mentioned that a little bit. How did you get into it? What was your involvement? What was the experience like?
Yeah, so I had no idea that you had anything to do with that. So when you said that, it kind of threw me off a little, but that's super cool. So Sean had reached out. I think I sent him my reel. I auditioned for it. I had sent him, yeah, I sent him a reel. I did the whole thing. He offered me the role of Angela, and I took it. Angela was kind of like, she had a more gothy kind of like look to her, more kind of like punk. The concept is that these group of people get together. It's yet another horror movie, but you already know this.
Yeah.
They get together for like a high school reunion or something, and then there's a killer on the loose. I had a really good experience. I had a great time working with Sean. The rest of the cast was great. Angel Bradford was in it, Sean Mongold, Casey, I don't remember her last name. The whole cast
Casey
was really cool.
Frick?
I enjoyed every single one of them.
Was it Casey
Yeah,
Frick?
Frick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody was great. I do want to give a shout out to Sean because he had played my boyfriend in the film, and we did have some intimate scenes, and he made sure that like I was super comfortable, that I was okay, like there before he touched anything or did anything. It was always, "Are you okay with this?" The entire team took really good care of me. Nate Nelson was in it. There were so many cool people in there.
Oh, I
So
love Nate
yeah, it was
Nelson.
a really good experience, and
Shout out to Nate. Shout
it's
out to
on my
Nate
bucket list to
Nelson.
work with Sean again. I know he's got some stuff coming up.
Shout out to Nate Nelson. Nate, I love you, buddy. You were the reason why I got into
Yeah, I love Nate.
Night
He's
of
such
the
a
Axe.
good dude.
Yeah, he's a real good guy. I love Nate. Like if there's one person I could confidently say that I don't really have any beef with, where I can't say one bad thing, is Nate. Nate Nelson, has always been really nice to me, very cool to me. I respect the hell out of that dude. And, Nate, if you're actually listening to this, bro, I think you and I need to actually have a round right here on my podcast show. You and I, man, we got to make this happen.
Yeah,
And,
I need to see that. That needs to happen.
Yeah, that does need to happen. That actually might be a thing where like him and I will get together in person and we will record it in person. And if he drinks, I will bring an alcoholic beverage of an adult, variety. If he doesn't, then hey, I'll be like, look, I got cans of ginger ale, I got Diet Pepsi. What do you want, man? I got you.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll give you a quick story. It was because of Nate Nelson that I got to be on Night of the Axe. I actually played like the Asian mental patient. I don't know if you remember that. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
where I was like knocking on the door. I was chewing like on my van shoe like it was a burrito, and I was like trying to beat myself up. It was pretty cool. And
Yes.
true story, which unfortunately it didn't. And I can go ahead and say it, like it's cool because guys, if you want to see Night of the Axe, I do see right here, right now on imdb.com that it is streaming live and free on Tubi. So if y'all got Tubi, you can go ahead and watch it, and you know what we're going to be talking about. But true story was we had like a take, like there was some stuff that I was like beating myself up with the chair like I was a pro wrestler. I took my shirt off and tried to like put my my nipple like right there on the door for him to see. And then, I was saying something like, hey little boy, would you like to come in? I like to play with you too. And then what they tried really hard not to laugh, and they did such a good job. But afterwards, when they said cut, they were like, they were just laughing and bawling out. Like they couldn't contain themselves, and they were just like, wow, what are you trying to do? I'm like, I'm just trying to make this character my own. So,
Right.
that's what I'm trying to do here. It was a good time. Like I liked it. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the character that I played. So, I mean, I definitely made it my own. That was kind of cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
Did you ever, once everything was done with Night of the Axe, did you actually like get like a copy of the DVD and stuff like that and purchased it and watched it?
I have watched it. I watched it on Tubi so that I could make sure, Sean gets the views and stuff. I intend to buy a copy myself, and I want to get one of the posters too. We had signed a whole bunch for him to use for like the crowdfunder, and I didn't get one, and I like that's one of the things I regretted. I really wanted one of the like signed posters. So
Oh, dude, you should have automatically got that. That should have been like, hey, because I was in that project, this should be like a part of the compensation deal.
all right. Well, I wanted to make sure he got the funding he needed for it first. So, but
No,
going forward, that's going to be one of my like stipulations.
yeah. Well, I
All I
think
want's a poster, man.
I understand. I think that as a rule of thumb, I don't know, like, and I don't know if you will agree with me or not, but and you can or not, but this is my belief. If you act in a project, obviously you will get credited for the work, with the closing credits and stuff like that. But I do believe that as a part of the package deal and the compensation, you should get like a free copy of your work because that's, you were involved in that. Now, when it comes to like, going to like a red carpet premiere, I think that's fair that, you have to compensate on your own. I think that's only fair because, the production team and the directors and all that stuff and the executive producers already spent a lot of their hard-earned money to invest in such an event. So, for you to actually pay to get in, it's kind of like they're getting their investment back. So I do see where that portion, yeah, pay your own way in the premiere.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. We tried to do a little bit extra for like our Anarchy people when we did that premiere there. They each got a poster. They did pay for their own tickets to come to the premiere. We don't have DVDs available just yet, only because Anna is still in the like festival circuit. We're hoping to have them soon. But yeah, and then I like to do a little bit extra. So like I got each of them like a little flower, and we're doing the same thing with Sibylla 6 that I'm working on with Shannon. We're giving everybody a poster, and like once we wrapped their scenes, they each got like a flower or something. We just really want to make them feel appreciated,
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I think that's totally cool, totally cool. Answer me this because I'm really like I'm still perplexed by this, but like I should have been like, oh wow, cool. You were in miscalculated. And
Correct. Yes.
yeah. So obviously our man, Romel Xavier Morales. Romel, we love you, brother. Hope you're doing good. How did you hear about the project and what motivated you to go for it?
So I really just wanted to kind of branch out. I wanted to meet new people. I wanted to make new connections, and I saw that he needed extras one day. So I reached out and said, "Hey, I'm available. Can I come? What do I need? What's the wardrobe? What?" I was so nervous about it because it was one of the first times that I had reached out and like really expanded my own little network and like really put myself out there. I remember walking up to the salon and I was asking for Ramel, and I wasn't even sure how to pronounce his name at that time. I was like, I'm looking for this person. And he was super sweet, super welcoming, like very warm. Everybody was very kind. Like, so I didn't really know anybody at the time. Like, Russell Sage Patrick was there, Jesse Green was there. They're some of my best friends now. That was like one of the first times that I had even met them, let alone everybody else that was on set. So it was a really cool experience to see all of that and see like how helpful and welcoming people were.
Yeah, yeah. Another fun-filled fact, Nate Nelson, once again, that name told me about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Did you have to like when you put your name in there, did you have to like actively like audition, or was it more like Romel saw that your interest and said, welcome aboard?
Not for I didn't audition for that scene because it was more of like just a background thing. So he was just like, yeah, come on, here's the location, here's the address, here's the like time, here's what you need to know.
Right.
Just come on down and we'll put you to work. So I did, and it was fantastic. I
Now,
absolutely loved working with Ramel. I would totally do it again in a heartbeat.
yeah, right on, right on. Now, explain to us a little bit about your role in that film. Like, what did you do? What scene were you in? Can you give us a little bit of some information on that for those that may not know? I mean, for that guys, if you want to see, Miscalculated, then you need to go again. That great website, Tubi. Go to Tubi. They
Yep.
got it. They got it.
Yeah, I made my parents watch it once I knew it was out. I was like, movie night, here we go. My dad likes action movies, so I was like, perfect, this is what we're doing tonight.
Nice.
My role was a background. I played a cop. The scene that I was in, we were like raiding some kind of like club. So not in it for very long. I'm only in it. You're only gonna see me for like 5-10 seconds, but it's there. It counts. It's
Now,
a good part of the story. So
nice. Now, were you there on the Saturday night or were you there on that Sunday night?
I don't remember what day of the week it was, but I was only there for that scene where we were in the van, we got out of the van, we went in the building, we arrested people, we came out of the building.
Okay. One of my friends was actually in that particular scene. I don't know if you ever met her, Tiffany Jill Chapman. She actually played one of the police officers that was doing the bust and had like, the machine guns like that, like the SWAT team has and so forth in that bus scene. So that was really cool. When you actually did everything and you were wrapped, what were your impressions overall after, working such a production with that type of team?
I was kind of taken aback, but like in a good way because it was so new and it was such a good experience, and I felt confident to like reach out and do more. And I felt really good that like everybody was so like gentlemanly. Like I remember it was late at night when I was leaving, and Ramel would not let me walk to my car by myself. I don't remember who he sent with me, but he sent someone to walk me to my car. He's like,
Okay.
absolutely not. Somebody is walking you to your car.
That, you know what?
So, like,
And
I appreciate the small things like that.
yeah, no, I mean, that's what, that's the type of stuff that Romel does all the time. He wants to make sure everyone's safe. And, especially like if you're wrapped and, you're walking to your car and you're alone, he's the type of guy that he's like, no, let me just go ahead and accompany you and make sure that you're good so that I know that you're safe and that when you're in your car safe, I don't have to feel bad and you can just hit up the road and go wherever you need to go. So that's the type of dude I can tell you right now that Romel is for sure.
He's a good dude. It was also my first time in Ellicott City, so it was cool to like experience that.
Right on, right on. Knowing that you just said that this was like your first rodeo in this style of of filming of this type of genre, did you have any like nervousness or kind of reservations knowing that you're entering like kind of like the the land of the unknown, if you will?
Oh yeah, I was terrified at first.
I got you. But overall, it seemed like just from what you said though, everything seemed to work out, and it worked out uh way more than you expected.
Yeah, definitely. I was absolutely terrified. I remember giving myself a little pep talk in the car, like, just do it. It's just a couple hours, you'll be fine. It's just new people, like it's nothing to freak out about. And then I remember asking for Ramel, pronouncing his name wrong, and then being like so embarrassed. I was like, oh, these people are gonna think I'm a moron.
Oh,
And then
geez.
everything just worked out way better than I could have imagined.
Nice. Did you happen to catch the premiere, or did you actually wait until it was actually streaming live on Tubi?
I did not make it to the premiere. I think I was working that day or filming or doing something. But I did watch it on Tubi. We've watched it a couple of times now, so I make everybody watch it.
Nice. What was your impression when you actually saw the whole project, on Tubi? Like, was it exactly what you thought it would be, or did it just blow you away beyond expectation?
It was definitely beyond expectations because I didn't really know the whole story. I only knew the part where that I was like involved in. So when I saw the whole story come together, I was like, "Oh wow, that's really cool. I like how they like played this part into this part and how this connected to this." And it was cool to watch it all play out.
Nice. Nice. So let's jump out of the miscalculated journey. Let's talk about some stuff that's going on right now. First, on the top of the moment that I can think of right now, um, Anna Key, you're a producer, you're a director. Um,
Mhm.
how did you? How did this project, like, how did it come together? Like, what was the process? Like, how what was the motivation behind it, and what was your experiences, being in it in the capacity that you are, or if it's not finished yet, how are you feeling about it currently?
I am very, very proud of Aniki. So the way that that happened, I believe you're talking with Matt Anderson sometime in the near future too.
Yeah.
So he had posted something about like what's something that you would want to do with like your film career. And I had commented that I would like to direct something someday. And so I felt like it was a fishing post and it worked out in his favor because he ended up with me directing it too. So we started talking. He sent me the script for Anarchy. We made a lot of revisions on it. We
Mhm.
basically rewrote the entire thing together. And then from there, he had me do an actual pitch deck and everything to like really prove that I wanted to do this. And I did. I went through all the steps. Um, I joke all the time. I was like, you made me jump through all of these hoops, but it was worth it
So
in the end.
Matt was the was one of the writers of the project.
Yeah, Matt was one of the writers of Anarchy. Him and myself, we've won a ton of awards for the script itself. So that's something to be very, very proud of. We went through a good like 12, 13 different versions before we finally got our like final draft the way we wanted it. We ran into a lot of issues while we were filming it as far as like scheduling goes. One of our actresses got really sick at one point. We had to like reschedule things because we didn't want to put anybody at risk for that. Funding is always an issue, scheduling, but we made it work. It is finished. We did premiere it in April at the Waynesboro Theater. So that was a really cool experience to see all of our hard work come together and on the big screen like that. We got to share it with the cast and crew and all of our closest friends and families. So yeah, that was super cool. We made like a whole weekend out of it.
Nice. Now, it's no secret that in it's kind of common like drinking water. So let me explain. When it comes to, being in uh, a project, a film project, whether if you're an actor, whether you are a director or a producer or, someone, of, a good position, there's always going to be some kind of like, unfortunately, like, you know, drama and some BS that's going down and so forth. I mean, it's an attraction like, like fly, honey to flies, you know what I mean? So did you feel or notice that there was any like unnecessary drama or drama that happened while Anna Key was happening, or not as much as you think?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, Matt and I butted heads quite a few times. We were both very passionate about the project, and we're both, had to get used to each other. Um, I can't think of any like big major drama. I mean, the usual stressful things. I was super busy a lot too, so it's not like I was able to like socialize with everybody. So if something had happened, I probably wasn't aware of it. If something did happen and somebody wants to discuss it with me, they are always more than welcome to reach out to me. I've started to get more involved in like the intimacy coordination part of things too. I know there's been a big push on keeping more sets safer. So I want to be a part of that and be a good like advocate for our actors and stuff. But as far as like drama, there's nothing major I can think of. I did butt heads with Jesse Green once or twice, and we joke about it now. We're really good friends. I tell him he was just a diva that day, but he stressed himself out because he wasn't like getting his lines, and he wanted to do so well. And then like, as a person, you just get in your head about it. So we kind of had to take a little break and just come back refreshed and just try again. And then once we did, he absolutely nailed it. He killed it.
I'm going to ask you this because I know that we have talked many a times before, and it's no secret, which I'm going to let out the bag right now, that you will be in another future episode because we have something in the works where it's going to be you, Krista Hansen, Brian Pacheco, and we're going to have like our own little like McLaughlin group where we're actually going to be talking in person and having a powwow and talking a lot of stuff here or there and so forth. That being said, about drama on the set and what you said about divas and everything like that and snakes in the grass and stuff like that, can you summarize an opinion? And it doesn't have to be the opinion for now, but a generalized opinion about actors being divas, or they think that they're entitled, or it just revolves around them, or just like weird activity and stuff like that. Can you give us a little bit of your opinions about that type of situation?
So thankfully, again, it's not a norm that I've experienced. Now, I have had bad experiences. I've had experiences where directors wanted to date me and not give me a role because I turned them down, or experiences where a filmmaker would hit on their other cast members and make them feel uncomfortable. I've had experiences where other cast members were essentially stalking other cast members in a sense, or where they were were on set and they were making the other people feel uncomfortable or like talking shit about them in a way. But thankfully, like I said, it's not something that I've seen the majority of. And now that there is this push for safer sets, for more respectful sets, like I'm seeing it less and less and less. I know that a lot of women have kind of, and men too, like we've dealt with a lot of stuff, especially in this industry, and people are starting to speak up about it, and we're starting to demand better. And thankfully, I'm seeing a lot of people that want to do better.
Right. Why do you think it took so long for people to speak up now about, that particular subject? Was it just like they were just, in fear, or do you think it was something more internal, or what do you think, what do you think it was?
I absolutely think it was fear. I think it was fear of being retaliated against. I think it was fear of like gaining a bad reputation. I think a lot of it was fear. Like people, like I know quite a few people who were like, yeah, I had this bad situation, but like, I don't want to talk about it because then nobody's going to hire me, or they're going to say that I'm this, or they're going to say that I'm that. And then my acting career is going to be ruined, you know? And I think, like I said, a lot of people we're over it. We're over it. Like me in particular, I can speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for other people. I'm not going to tell you other people's stories. But
Right.
what I've noticed is that a lot of us have the same story, very similar stories. And that's not how it should be. Like we need to do better as filmmakers, as creative people, like just as people in general.
Right on. So you're saying, like, in a sense that, you were either afraid, or you think that people are afraid of snitching because that might, uh, that would actually at that point make their current position be dissolved.
I think that's a huge part of it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not so much one of those. Like I know a lot of people have said to me, like, well, I had this experience, but I'm telling you because I know you won't tell anybody and I'm safe, instead of like calling people out for the bad behavior or what have you.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, I hope
But
that,
people can't fix it if they don't know.
yeah, no, I 100%. I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, no, it's just kind of a shame that, people, if they feel this way and they don't speak up, then a lot of people can only assume at that point that everything's okay and nothing's wrong, when in reality, no, everything is messed up and it's not safe. It's not okay. I'm not okay. And, and these are my reasons. And, I'm sorry that it took a little bit longer to acknowledge it, but, this is where it's at.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Going forward, if you ever saw something like that, and I'm not saying that if it ever happened to you, but if it ever happened to somebody else, on the set, and you were like a key eyewitness, would you at that point do everything in your power right then and there to just nip that in the bud? Or would you kind of be a little bit more, how can I explain it? Would you be a little bit more like, like, I'm not going to do this in front of the whole people, but I'm going to do it in private and notify people about what's going on, like concealment?
Gotcha. So like I said, I've started doing more like the intimacy coordination work too. So I'm involved in a lot of different things as far as that's concerned right now. And I had a little one-on-one meeting with a couple of actors, and I've said to them, listen, if you're in a situation and you're uncomfortable, or I want you to tell me, because I'm going to nip it in the bud right away. Like, I don't care whose feelings I hurt. My job is to make sure you feel safe and that you feel respected and that you feel comfortable. If if I have to hurt the director's feeling, the producer's feelings, whatever, then that's what has to happen. I've grown a lot in this career in the last 5, 6, however many years. I don't even know how long it's been anymore, but I've grown a lot, and I'm at a point now where like I know that I'm doing something right because I made a couple of enemies, and I'm a-okay with that. I'll burn bridges while I'm standing on it. Like I can swim, you know? So if there is ever a problem, I want to know about it because it's going to get handled. I will try to handle it respectfully. I will try
Right
to
on.
handle it respectfully, but whatever has to happen is going to happen.
Right on. Right on. So let's talk a little bit about like what's on the horizon for you, like what's going to be happening for you at, in the future in terms of like maybe you're acting or maybe you're directing and so forth. Can you drop any hints or tidbits about, where that's going and where that's at this moment in time?
Yeah. So we are finishing up the Sibylla 6. Shannon Atkins is directing that. I'm her assistant director. I also had a small role in that film. We're super excited to get that wrapped up. We're hoping to have an October premiere next year. Matt Anderson is also doing following, so I'll be working with him on that sometime in the spring. And then we're actually filming Black Sheep, which is like my baby, my project. Todd Martin helped me write that script. DJ Patton is my executive producer on that. Shannon and Russell are involved with that as well. We're going to film that in April. I'm not sure what kind of premiere date we're going to be looking at yet, but we're really excited to have that.
Nice. Nice. As far as your acting goes, I mean, are you going to continue to, um, you know, test yourself in other genres? Like, are you now like more open to do other genres other than horror, or will horror always be like, your heart?
I think it's always going to be my heart. It's going to be my one true love, but I would still work on other films, other genres. I don't have anything lined up for next year at the moment. I'm going to be a little bit more picky about who I work with and like what I do. I want it to be things that I'm really passionate about.
Mhm.
I did a lot of things this year that I loved, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it took away from my personal life enjoyment. And I really want to focus more so on that in this next year.
Right.
Not to say that I won't do any film. It's just I got to switch gears a little bit and balance it out a little bit better.
Speaking of balance, you had said that you are in a relationship with a boyfriend, and I know that you being in this industry, it can be hard sometimes to balance between working on a film project, no matter what position that you're in, and then finding the balance and the time to be with your significant other. I mean, how do you even manage that? Because that can be very tricky. That could be a very sensitive thing there.
Yeah, it can get difficult very quickly. That's for sure. I'm very lucky in that everybody that's close to me in my life has been very, very supportive. But we communicate very honestly. We tell each other everything and we're very respectful about it. So if there's something that's bothering me or him or vice versa, like we have that conversation. You have to have the difficult conversations to have any kind of relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship or a professional one. Like it's a necessary part of life. Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but like it's necessary. So, um, and then we make it a priority to make time for each other whenever we're able to.
I hear that. I hear that. Wow, that everything that we've been talking about has been awesome and it's been spot on. But um, this podcast would not be a podcast if I didn't challenge, my special guests. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time where we introduce dun 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 dun, dun Amanda Megan versus the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience Rapid Fire Challenge.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, have you heard about the Rapid Fire Challenge?
I have not. I know Brian and Krista were just on with you, and I haven't had the chance to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea what to expect.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and explain the rules of the Rapid Fire Challenge. What it consists of basically is I'm going to ask our guest, Amanda Megan, a bunch of series of questions. Now, it could be true, false. It could be multiple choice. It could be fill in the blank. It could just be like, I'm just asking you a question and you just give me an answer. It could be like a real life situation kind of question. It could be fantasy. It could be anything. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is that we want to actually go inside the mind of Amanda and see where she's at with these questions, because, everybody's a little bit different. For those that tuned in this season, we had Romel Xavier Morales as our guest, and that rapid fire was one for the record books. I might say it was a good time.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I'll just say this before we begin. If there's one thing that I loved about Romel, is that I told Romel, look, in this podcast, I want you to be your genuine self. I don't want you to hold back. I want you to say whatever it is that you want to say and how you want to say it. I'm not going to hold you back at all, because in our podcast, we don't have those type of restrictions, like in the sense of verbal and whatnot, because, I want it to be real. And plus, I've always made a disclaimer before the show that, there's a possibility that we're going to say some things that might offend people, whether if it's bad language or bad terminology and so forth. So if that's the type of situation that you don't feel comfortable in, you've been warned, and Romel, man, he let it fly in some cases, but I think it was cool. I think it was justified. It was him being him. And now we're giving the floor to you. This is your moment.
Okay. I can do
Yeah.
this. I'm ready.
Yeah. So let me give everybody an example of how it works. So I might ask, like, Amanda, like a question like, between Coke or Pepsi, what's better? She might say Coke, because they were the ones that did it first. So, go team Coke. Yeah, I could ask her like something like, true, false. Amanda likes video games. True. Yes, I like video games. I like playing video games. I find it to be very relaxing and very, visually stimulating. It's cool. Or I could ask her something like, if somehow we had a fight between Batman and Stone Cold Steve Austin, who do you think's going to win that one? And Amanda could be like, well, I don't know any of them, so I'm going to pull the nerd card and probably say Batman because he's the superhero. That's the type of stuff that we're on here on the rapid fire. So, Amanda, Megan, are you ready for the rapid fire challenge?
Yes, I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, we have the world famous rapid fire challenge provided by yours truly. And in the blue corner, we have Amanda Megan that's ready to protect herself at all times and put her dukes up and see where we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ding, ding, ding. The fight has started. So, okay. Between the primary colors of yellow, blue, and red, my favorite color is?
My favorite color is yellow.
Okay, cool. I'd rather go over to the beach or the mountains.
The beach.
Nice. Nice. Favorite color on a car?
Black or silver, easier to clean.
Okay. True or false? Amanda Megan likes martial arts movies.
That is true. That is true. I absolutely loved Jackie Chan movies when I was growing up.
Oh, okay. Bonus question, which is now a sub question. You said Jackie Chan was your favorite actor growing up. Can you give me at least two of your favorite Jackie Chan movies of all times that you have seen?
Rumble in the Bronx was definitely one of them, and I cannot think of another one because that's like my top. So,
okay, that's fair. At least you acknowledged one. I was going to say for me, I agree with Rumble in the Bronx. I liked that movie. I'm also going to probably say for me personally, Jackie Chan's First Strike. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, yeah,
that to me, I felt like that was a cool thing right there. So that's where it's at. Would Amanda Megan ever be open to do a fight scene in a movie?
Oh, yes. I think that'd be super fun. I'd love to do that someday.
Nice. Can you picture how it would be? Like, would you just do like basic like stage combat, or would you try to like utilize martial arts? How do you see it?
I would love to utilize martial arts. So I actually did take martial arts when I was younger. I couldn't tell you the name of it anymore. I did it when I was like middle school to like high school. But it was something that I had really enjoyed, and like I would love to go back and do it again. I had really great experiences. The discipline, the physicality of it, the just like all of it was fantastic for me. So I would love to incorporate that. But I picture it going down more like a choreography, like this is how you do this and this is how we do this, and like really having to break it down just to make sure nobody actually does get hurt.
How far did you get into the martial arts, like rank wise?
I had a purple belt. I want to say it was Ryoku, something like that. My sensei, his name was Sensei Jeff, and it was the Driscoll's Institute of Martial Arts in Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
I almost think that it's like Ryukyu Kempo Karate or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Okay, that's cool. Would Amanda Megan be open to do stunts?
Would depend on the stunt. Not closed off to it, but I would want to negotiate.
Okay. What do you think makes a successful actor?
Patience. Patience, resilience. You got to have a really thick skin to even get involved in this industry. And then just like the ability to set and keep those boundaries and really know who you are as a person and who you want in your corner.
I want you to fill in the blank. Professionalism in the filming industry is blank.
Professionalism in the filming industry is improving.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. I thought that you were going to say is a must.
I thought about it. I was having trouble coming up with the word that I wanted, but I feel like improving is the most accurate.
Okay. Okay. If you had an opportunity to be in a movie locally and with the caliber of talent that we have, name 4 actors that are local and within our parameters that you would love to work with in this movie.
What are our parameters though? Because like, do you mean
Like,
DMV? But we've got people in like North Carolina, New York.
let's say Pennsylvania and let's say DMV. So both.
Okay. Let's so both. So I actually don't know very many Pennsylvania actors. I've worked with Brian before. I would love to work with Krista. I haven't gotten the chance to work with her yet. I've worked with so many like really cool people that this is actually a really hard question for me. Um, I'd love to work with Angel Bradford again. I'd love to work with Sean again. Um, I'm dying to work with like Jessa Flux. I've worked with Christina a couple of times. I don't actually know how to answer this question because like everybody that I've worked with, I've loved, and everybody that I want to work with is like I don't everybody.
Right on. Right on. Okay, that's very political, so I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
That's a tough question. Like there's just I know too many people, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Here's a fun one, or I think this is a fun one. If I was ever going to get my next tattoo, I would get it blank, and the tattoo would be blank.
That is a fun one. So I've got a couple ideas for tattoos. I have about 6 or 7 now, but my next tattoo, I promised myself I was going to give myself a tattoo when I got my personal training certification. And I absolutely love baby hedgehogs, so I want to get a baby hedgehog holding like a kettlebell or something on the back of my arm here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the back of the arm is actually not that bad. It's when you actually go in the inner bicep, that's when you're headed for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few tattoos, and like the one that hurt the most was on my hip, but like not the bone. It was like all the jiggly parts that hurt.
The cheek. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me give you. Here's another one here, and we're going to stick with the tattoo theme. Out of all the tattoos that I got, if there was one tattoo that I could pick to erase it from my body, then I would pick this tattoo.
Well, that's a tough one because all of mine mean something to me. I have a 4-leaf clover on my foot, so I'd probably get rid of that one.
Oh, wow. What was the significance behind the 4-leaf clover?
Well, so I'm very Irish, so that's why I wanted to go with the clover. But the way that happened, I was married at the time, and my ex-husband's friend got out of jail and was living with us and needed a job. So he was trying to learn how to do tattoo artistry. And so he did a little like house party. And I was very iffy about it, very, very iffy about it. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll let you do it. But like, I want it. And I straight out told him, I was like, I want it on my foot. So that way, if you fuck it up, nobody can see it and I can hide it easy. So long story short, mine's the only one that didn't get messed up.
Oh, wow. You lucked out on that one. Oh,
Sure did. I think I scared him. So
nice. If there was a country that you wanted to go and visit and money was not an issue, where would you want to visit?
I would go to Ireland.
Oh, wow. Right on. Have you ever been to Ireland in real life or not yet?
Not yet. I am absolutely dying to go. There's so many like cool things, the libraries, the landscapes, the just all of it. My second choice would be Egypt, just because I really enjoyed that like culture and their mythology, and I'd really like to see something different.
Nice. What is Amanda's stances on mental health?
Health is way more important than we realize. I think that needs to be a much bigger focus in general. I feel like that's something like insurances should cover. Go to therapy, talk to people, like get out in nature. Like you need your brain is still an organ. You need to take care of it the same way you're going to take care of like your stomach or your eyes or your teeth or what have you.
Right, right. I feel you. I feel you. If if there was one piece of advice that you could give to an upcoming actor, an upcoming director, what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. Mostly don't give up. You're going to come into some bad things. You're going to hear some stories. But like I said earlier, you just got to be resilient and got to be patient, pick your battles, pick your people and like stick with it. The grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it.
Nice. Name a stereotype that people have when it comes to actors in especially in the local area.
That everybody gets naked in the horror movies.
Really?
Yeah. I hear
That's
I
a
hear a lot of that.
that's a stereotype?
I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I mean, I know it does happen a lot. I know a lot of it has to do with like distribution and stuff, but I feel like people just automatically assume like, oh, well, Amanda did this scene in like Night of the Axe, so like she's going to get naked for my movie, and that's not true at all. I'm extremely picky about my level of comfortability as far as like that kind of stuff goes. So I think
Right.
that's more of what I meant than like,
Okay. Mount Rushmore is a monument where you actually see four faces of the presidents of the United States of America that are our forefathers, if you will. So
ask me who they
if
are, aren't you?
so if you had a chance to make your own personal Mount Rushmore of your favorite movies of all time,
Okay.
who do you think would have made that list?
Definitely Freddy Krueger. The Crypt Keeper. Um, I absolutely love Takashi Miike as a director. So I would put him on there. Let's see. And then Martyrs is one of my favorite, like of all time horror movies. So I would probably put one of the main characters from there on there too.
Okay. So we like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mhm.
The second answer that you said was
The Crypt Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper. So you like Tales from the Crypt.
I do, yes.
Now, what were your stances on the Tales of the Crypt, the two movies like Demon Knight and Bordello of Blood?
We would have to rewatch them. It's been so long. It's been so long. I have a Demon Knight poster on my wall, so
Oh wow, there you go. There you go. There you go. Here's an imaginary one, and you have to work with me on this one here. Say, for example, you got a letter inviting you to a very exclusive restaurant where it's like a James Beard award winning 3-star restaurant. And it says, you go right over here at this time, at this date. You get dressed up and you go to the restaurant and you're there and you notice the table with your name on it. But there are 3 available slots to actually have as your guest. Who would you invite as your guest? Now, let me put these stipulations out. They could be somebody that you actually know in real life. There could be somebody that you don't know and never met. They could be famous. Or they can be non-famous. They could be living. They could be deceased. Who are the 3 individuals that you would invite?
wow. So it's just like a random get together at a fancy place with whoever I want to talk to.
Correct.
Okay. Um, Princess Diana would be one of them. I think
Oh,
that would be
that's
a
a
really
good one.
interesting conversation. I think that'd be a really cool conversation there. Um, wow, this is an interesting question. I dig this. I really have to think about this. Okay, who else do I want to talk to?
Well, we got Princess Diana.
Yeah. I would want to talk to her about just life in general and all the things that she went through. I'd want to talk to I would say Takashi Miike because it's so hard to get him to do public appearances. I'd want to hear about his experience in the film world, what inspired him, what made him who he is, and the international, just all the differences. So that's two.
You would need an interpreter for that one.
Yeah. I guess that's number three, right? My interpreter.
No, we for this one we'll call them a package deal.
Okay, deal. So let's see. Who else? Who else do I want to talk to? I don't know. That's a really tough one. You know what? I would want to talk to my grandmother. She passed away when I was really, really young, when I was like between the ages of 3 and 5. So I don't remember her at all. So I would want to talk to her.
Okay, that's cool. If Amanda was able to go into a hot tub time machine and actually see her younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
Man, I don't remember a whole lot from when I was younger. I would tell myself not like nothing matters, but everything works out in the end. That's what I would tell myself. Everything's going to work out. It's going to suck, but it's going to work out.
Mm. Mm. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Man, I'm just trying to get through this week. 5 years from now, I would like to see myself in a stable relationship. I would like to see my films doing well. I would like to see my friends and family doing well and everybody being like successful. That's really the only thing that like I want in life is, to be happy and have peace in my life and see the people I care about being successful and happy and at peace with their lives.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Very cool. You have stated earlier that you are in the fitness industry. So could you give us a tip or advice when it comes to, physical fitness or just working out, et cetera, et cetera?
So my first tip would be drink water. It really does make a difference. My second tip would be to make sure you pay attention to what you're eating. As far as fitness goes, it's 30% what you do and 70% what you put in your body. So, pay attention to that kind of stuff. It does matter. As far as working out, my suggestion would be, do it. First of all, a lot of people won't even get off the couch to go and do it. Movement matters. 30 minutes of purposeful movement makes a big, big, big difference. And make sure that you give yourself those rest days because your mental health needs that too.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. We have about 5 more questions. Some of them are going to be easy. Some of them may not. So, all right. So here we go.
Okay.
First thing that comes into mind, what is the one thing that you can make food wise that you know for a fact that you can make and is fail safe?
Tacos. They're my favorite food. I can make them anytime, anywhere, any place.
Oh, right on. Right on. Soft shell or hard shell?
I like both, so I do a variety.
Okay. I just like the soft shell because I feel like that's a little bit more traditional.
Mm.
That's just me. That being said, let's go into still sticking up with the theme of food. What is your favorite style of cuisine? What's your favorite to go to type of like cuisine? Is it Mexican? Is it Chinese? Is it Japanese? Is it Italian? What's the number one cuisine for you?
It would be Italian. I eat a lot of pasta.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. We both know that there were a lot of great horror films in history, and some of them even had their own series, of movies throughout, cinematic history. If there was one film that you would want to be in, horror movie wise, what movie would it be? Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna stick with Nightmare on Elm Street. It's been a big part of my life. It's been something that I've enjoyed from start to finish. So just gonna stick with that.
Have you ever met Robert Englund?
No, that is on my bucket list in the worst way.
Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
I have met Heather Langenkamp. That was a really cool experience. She's super sweet.
Oh, no kidding.
Hmm.
How did that happen?
So I volunteered at Carolina Fear Fest back in May, and they needed somebody to cover her table while her attendant took their lunch or something. So I got to go meet her and hang out a little bit. So that was really cool.
Nice. Did you get a picture with her?
No, we were too busy.
Oh, man.
But I have the memory, so it's okay.
Right on. Right on. Okay. Let's think of two more here. Let's think of two more good ones. Oh, okay. Here's something that may rock your core a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In the world of sports, name your favorite teams.
So I don't really have any favorite teams. I'm not a big sports person. My dad watches football. He likes the Steelers, so I'll cheer for them. My brother likes hockey, so he watches the Sharks, so I'll cheer for them. But I'm not a sports person.
Oh, so you don't watch baseball or basketball either?
Mm-mm, not really.
Oh man. Well, we got an automatic DQ right here, folks. All right. All right.
Shucks.
I mean, some individuals they're from column A and some are from column B. So we can't expect everybody to like everything at the same time in a standardized way. That's
Right.
that's just not how it works. Okay. Let's go ahead and give you a last one. When it's all said and done, what would you like to leave as a legacy, as Amanda Megan, not only the actor, but Amanda Megan as the person? What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
So my main goal has always been to inspire other people and mostly to inspire them to love themselves. So that's kind of what I base all of my art on, whether it's the movies or the modeling, or if I do any kind of writing. It's the central theme of most of my art is always to inspire and to love yourselves.
Okay. We have a bonus question.
Okay.
Okay. We both know that Jackie Chan is seasoned in age and he's not a spring chicken, so he's not as young as he used to be. But do you still believe that Jackie Chan can still do it in terms of still doing fight scenes and his own stunt work?
I feel like if he wanted to, he absolutely could. I know he would kick my ass. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I'm definitely down for the business. Well, I would definitely say that you did very well with the rapid fire questions. I think it was really a cool moment to, from that standpoint, to know you a little bit more, and just overall with this whole experience, to know you as the person, to know you as the actor and the director and so forth, and the person that's very passionate about, her art and wanting to, take it to the next level, that upper echelon with you, if you will. So that this was a real cool moment. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. This was fun.
Yeah. Was this your first time ever doing a podcast show in general, or have you been in other podcast shows before?
I've done a couple other podcasts before. I was on Scream Until You Like It with Mike Mazzy and Clint Meyer. I did one with Jonathan Moody. I did one with Keith Andrews. I've done a few. I feel like they're more so like business focused, and I enjoyed this part that it was very much like I could just be me.
Yeah. Well, I think in the whole sense when I invite, my guests on this podcast, I think being yourself is like the most important rule to follow, because I think there's a difference between actually you can tell the difference between somebody being themselves, and you can tell when a person's trying to play a facade and just, put on that actor's face or that poker's face. And not that I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but it's like one is more genuine than the other. And you took the route that you did, which was really awesome.
Mhm.
Which was really awesome. Okay, well, at this point of our podcast show, I usually like to give our guests a chance and an opportunity to go ahead and say whatever they want to say, whether if they want to promote their, social media pages, if they want to explain about stuff that's going on in their lives, about the next movie project that they're involved in some capacity, or, if you want to give a shout out or anything like that to, friends or family or just people that you worked with. So I'm going to give you the floor. The floor is yours. Please take it away for us.
Okay, so if you want to follow me, see what's going on in my life, the best way to do that is on Facebook under Amanda Megan. You can also see me on Instagram. I am on Facebook more than Instagram. Follow the Black Sheep movie page. That's the newest project that we're working on. Like I said, we're filming that in April 2025. Also follow the Sibylla 6 movie page. We're finishing principal filming this month actually. As far as shout outs and stuff go, I'd want to give a shout out to my parents who raised me and let me be me and just followed all of my ridiculous ideas. All of my friends, partners, and stuff that have been super supportive. Anderson for giving me the shot at Anna Key. Sean for putting me on Night of the Axe. Ramel for letting me be a part of Miscalculated. Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what's coming next. We got big things planned.
Very cool. Very cool. Again, this was a real fun moment for me. Not only for the fact that, it was a moment where, I got to spend time with you and to get to know you better, but for the fact that, I'm diversifying a little bit more of getting more guests on my podcast as a whole. And the fact that you were here and, you took time out of your busy schedule to be here and so forth. And I know that, with your day job, it's kind of hard to balance everything. I do appreciate the time. You are more than welcome to come back at any time that you want. I mean, I'm going to give you a skeleton key. Just go ahead and use it at any of the doors, any locks, and just let yourself in. Come and find me and say, hey, we got to run it back. We got to do a part 2 to this thing because, there was, because it was fun doing it the first time. So, let's make that happen. So you're more than, welcome to come back at any time that you want. And, again, pretty soon we're going to have that episode where it's going to be like, like our own little group between, yourself, Krista Hansen and Brian Pacheco. That's to come. That's
going to be a fun day.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a fun day. I think that, I think that's the day where we're probably going to let it out, and we're probably going to, I don't know, how it's going to be. I don't know how, where it's going to go, but I do know that there are going to be some fireworks flying and some sparks creating, and I just can't wait to see how it goes from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our episode of the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. I have to say honestly that this was time well invested to get to know Amanda Megan as not only as the director and producer and actor, but to get to know her as the person herself. And, it's a good moment. It's a good moment. There's never a shy moment or a dull moment here on the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience because we have fun. We keep it moving. It's great, and, I feel good knowing that I've accomplished, another great episode and that I continue to make great content for you guys. And I love it. Guys, let me go ahead and do the closing notes. You would think that after 3 seasons, about to go on the 4th season, that I've mastered this to a T. And to be honest with you, no, definitely not. Definitely not. So here's as follows, guys. We are on a lot of social media pages. Obviously, we are on Facebook. Go under the search box and type in the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. We are there. Other other pages that we belong to in the world of social media. We are on Twitter, now known as X. We are also on Instagram. Find us under our tag handle at TKHPC Experience, all in one word, lowercase letters, no spacing or whatever. Follow me and I'll follow you back. We are on a lot of podcasting platforms up the wazoo. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are also on Amazon Music. We are on YouTube Music and the Audible, which is actually a podcasting platform and an audio book platform. And for a very special deal for all you first timers, if you want to go ahead and preview the membership of Audible, you can. For 1 week, you can sign up for a free trial membership. And if you don't like it after 7 days, you can cancel that subscription and there'll be no, monetary obligation. You're good to go. But if you like it, keep it. It's $15 a month, but it gives you excellent access to all the podcasts and all the audiobooks that are out there. Now, do me a favor, guys. Number 1, like and subscribe to our podcast on all the major platforms that I expressed here today. Also, number 2, if you have Spotify, please give us a 5-star review. If you have Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star review and a positive written review. Because the more times that you do that for Spotify and for Apple Podcasts, then that actually puts our podcast in the front of the line and people might take notice. And then somebody might be like, oh my God, the Kim Hoang Podcast Experience. I understand this thing because Krista told me about this podcast and she said, this is an awesome show. I should probably follow it, like it, and subscribe to it. Yes, yes, and yes, absolutely. Please do. You know what I mean? And please promote this podcast, whether if you're telling your friends or your family members or your coworkers in person, or if we do it digitally, like on the Facebook, on, Twitter, now known as X. We have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we got TikTok. Promote it. Please promote it because it's what we call in the business that it is brand awareness. Sharing is caring. So we do share and we do care. We like to promote things and make this thing grow. And that's it right there. Last but not least, if you want to be a special guest, if you want to be a special guest host, if you have any questions for our Q&A form when I do my solo episodes, and or if you have any constructive criticism, please email me. Email me at thekimhoangpodcastexperience@gmail.com. Whatever the subject is, put it in the subject box. And whatever that you want to type, put it in the body of the email. Send it out to me. I'll get it. I'll probably read it and respond back within a day or two because I do like, communication and correspondence in that manner. And I really want to know how people really think about what I do, how I do, throw in a suggestion here or ask a question or reach out and say, bro, I'm a musician. I want to be on your podcast. Do it. Let's make it happen because like I said, guys, this podcast is all for you. It is for the people, by the people. I can't do this by myself. I need to have the love and support of you guys, the audience, the people that actually like and subscribe to my podcast because you guys make it happen. And as long as you want me to continue on to do this thing, I will do it until there's no more air in my lungs and I can't go any further. And that's a fact. That's a fact. So, guys, we are going to go ahead and get on out of here. It's been a great moment to be with you guys. Most importantly, please be safe out there, no matter what it is that you do. I want you to be safe out there because it doesn't do me any good if you do something wrong that jeopardizes your well-being, that results in you landing in a pine box and getting buried 6 feet under. We don't want that to happen. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy. We want you to be living life, and we want you to enjoy life. Why? Because you deserve it. You deserve every bit of it. And anybody out there in the world that's telling you that you don't deserve it, you don't deserve to be happy, it's all in your head. You're not going to do well. You're going to fail. You won't succeed. You can't do it. Just, take a step back, breathe, get back in their face, give them the finger, tell them to kiss off, go kick rocks and go somewhere because, you have better things to do and better things to invest your time in. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say. So for our lovely and beautiful guest, Amanda Megan, who again graciously donated her time and her energy to be here, which once again, we appreciate. This is your boy, Kim Hoang, the Asian sensation, again, reporting live from the Prototype Studio in Wheaton, Maryland, saying, guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. We're going to still keep doing this for you. And remember that 2025 is going to be an excellent year. I can't wait to see where this goes. Better believe it, y'all. Y'all take care. Be safe. Be good. And we're going to go ahead and get on with the get on. So it's been good, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.